How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be doing a review on the Topdon Artidiag800BT scan tool. This is a scan tool I got sent a number of months ago now. I've used it in the workshop every day since I've got it, and I'm just going to give you my overall feedback on how I've found the scan tool, whether I'd recommend purchasing it for a DIY or an everyday mechanic. So stay tuned and check out what I think of this scan tool. Okay, so this is the box packaging that it comes in. It is from Topdon. It's the Artidiag800BT, BT standing for Bluetooth. It is a wireless scan tool, which is very, very useful, especially when you are working away from the vehicle under the bonnet, or you're doing those live data test drives and you're monitoring while you're graphing, etc. Now, this is a professional hands-on review. So I've used this tool now at time of recording for approximately 4 months. I've given it its full capabilities in regards to what I need every day in the workshop. And this is going to be a completely impartial review. This scan tool was sent to me from Topdon, but it was sent to me with no instructions on how I carry out the review. Any reviews I ever do on this channel, rest assured it's going to be completely impartial, honest, and my genuine feedback on how I found the product. So with that said, let's jump into this review. Okay, so at the back of the box you're going to get some of the main features in it. This is the like wireless dongle that comes with it. This lights up as it powers up to the 16-pin connector, and you have some of the primary features that comes with it. The ones we're going to focus in on here is the specs. So it's got pretty much a 6-inch touchable screen. It's very responsive. I haven't, which I'll show you, I haven't taken off the screen protector yet, but I have found the sensitivity of the screen is very nice, and it doesn't accidentally touch when I don't want it, which does happen with other scan tools. It's got a more than capable 3100 milliamp hour battery. And like I said, I've used this for a very long time now, and I can say that battery is very suitable for a workshop environment, everyday use, as well as your DIY necessities. It's got 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of onboard memory. The memory is not expandable on this device, so it hasn't got like an SD card slot where you can build up external memory. So I will touch back on that a little bit later on. The features, it shows 4 of the primary ones here, but all in all, it's got 28 reset features. I have talked about previously in a scan tool review what bi-directional controls used to be called. In the early days of scan tools, I would call anything that you can communicate to, input information in a bi-directional scan tool. Nowadays it comes under these resets. So this wouldn't be classed as a fully bi-directional control scan tool, but it has a lot of power, a lot of capabilities, and it's a very, very powerful little unit. This is the carry case that it comes with. It's a fabric type material, zip with a carry handle, and it's got a hardened protective insert all the way around. Very, very nice case. One of the best cases I have seen across all the scan tool ranges, and that's from the very expensive ones down. I much prefer this type of setup than the blow molded cases that are a lot bulkier, a lot more difficult to cart around. This is something that you could easily pop in your vehicle if you were going on a long trip and you wanted to have something as a backup in case anything happens. So very portable, very easy to use, and a case is very nice overall. Inside it you get the usual, the instruction manual, how you set it up, all the common stuff that you would get with any scan tool. This is the setup of the unit. So it's got this like ergonomic type grip in it to the side. Doesn't have a handle like some of them, but it can stand on its own. So it's freestanding just by the design in it. This is the removable wireless dongle that you get. Plug straight in, and it does give you an audible reminder as you exit the tool that it is still in the vehicle. Just a reminder to remove it before you go away from the car. You've got your power button, you've got your charging connectors there, and then you've got your grip handle all around, your specs on the back. You've got your cable for charging up, and then for the mains you've got your charger as well. So it's showing the right front wheel speed sensor circuit low voltage open, and we have traction control, warning light, ABS, and all likely to be related. So let's pull up the live data and see what the right hand wheel is reading. Read data stream. So we're going to go on for these. So right front, right rear, left, that's all we want. Click OK. So I've combined them all, and let's have a look and see what they're doing. I'll bring this for a drive, I'll set this up, and then I'll show you. So it took a bit of time and I wasn't able to capture it in real time, but that's the good thing about the graphing, especially when it's able to catch that dropout. The right hand front wheel is the right, that's where the fault code is, and we are losing signal at times. I was able to capture that on the other stream as well. You can see it's gone down there, it's not reading. But when I had it active like this, I had it beside me, I was able to see that the right front wheel speed sensor was dropping out as well. So that's an issue that has to be investigated further. I'll be noting it down on the job card, and we'll be seeing if we get any further work. And that's just a sample of what the scan tool can actually do by using some of the features, the graphing feature or the live real-time feature where you can see it flick like that. Okay, so this is the home screen that you'll be seeing every time that you connect up the scan tool to a vehicle, and I will just go through these in 1 second. The first thing I want to talk about is the price point and what we need to be realistic and what we expect from a scan tool within different price ranges. I see all the time and I hear comments all the time on when we're showcasing or demonstrating tools like this, people expecting a high-level professional range tool. So this is under $500, this scan tool, and it's very, very powerful and capable within that range. If you're talking about a scan tool that is $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, even $10,000 worth of a scan tool, we cannot be comparing them like for like. We can talk about speed, we can talk about performance, we can talk about how many PIDs that one has to another, how many resets it can do, but overall the more expensive one is set to do more items. It's going to be fully bi-directional capable. It's going to have potentially oscilloscope, it's going to have other accessories that creates the price point for that one. This one sits in that range of under $1,000, in and around $400 to $500 approximately, depending on where you're buying it from and what region. But I can say, before I even kick this review off, this is a fantastic tool for that price point. So jumping straight into this, and I will try and keep this as short and sweet. I will be overlaying some images and videos and jumping in and out on when I use this in the workshop. I have been using it for months and months now, and I've given this every bit of testing I can. I'm talking about hands-on real world environment testing. I haven't created or given any fake problems to any vehicles. I've used this as I would any other scan tool that's in the workshop, and 9 times out of 10 I was able to get what I needed from this one, and I didn't have to go to any of the other scan tools that we have available to us in the workshop. Okay, so the home screen, you have the update section here, setup, repair information. So repair information is your generic OBD fault code library, coverage lists of how much you should expect to be covered in this, a video demonstration and some reading as well. This Arty folder is some files that you can save yourself. This is the one that you're going to be focusing on a lot, is the scan and the maintenance and service. The scan section is an auto VIN, so if you are connected to Wi-Fi, for example, that should work very well for you. And anything within a newer range vehicle wise, you will connect up using that auto VIN connectivity. Nice and simple. Maintenance and service. This is where you get all of them resets. This is where you have 28 different ones, and it was very, very good. So the likes of your ABS brake bleeding on the likes of Volkswagens, Fiestas, very common that you need to do ABS bleeding on them, especially if you've interfered in the brake lines for any component replacements. Airbag, I did show a demonstration on this one, and the Hyundais that have the clock spring fault, this had the pin information which showed the resistance was changing when I was rocking the steering wheel, so very, very beneficial. But any airbag light that I had on any of the vehicles was capable of reading it and getting all the information I needed in this tool. Battery management system. Nowadays we have a lot of different types of batteries, ones with your stop start capabilities, so you're going to need to register batteries in. Brake resets. Again, if you have vehicles coming into you, and there's a lot of different vehicles coming into your workshop, for example, you're going to want a tool that can carry a lot of different makes and models in these resets, and this one is very capable in that area as well. This is one that's more recent to the game. Going back when these scan tools were first coming out, we wouldn't necessarily have coolant bleeding in a scan tool of this price point, and it just shows you how far technology has come, that we have so much available to us in such a cheap price point range. So coolant bleeding, when would you need that? If you have electronic water pump, electric water pump, let's say you do some replacement in the likes of Beamers, Volkswagens, all of them, you're going to have some components that have an electrical hookup. Some of them have 1 and 2 pumps, and after you do any interruption in that system and you need to re-bleed it up, you will want to access the likes of this and make sure all of the air is removed out of it. The DPF side, so the likes of Merck's DPF, I know this is capable of doing it. You can do regens, you can get information on soot levels and what is actually happening in that diesel particulate filter. These are the common ones that were available in all ranges: EGR, throttle. What else have we got here? The oil resets, very, very good on oil resets. I found this capable of doing absolutely every one that I needed. I was able to do BMWs, able to do Mercs, able to do Volkswagens, able to do Chinese ranges, the likes of Havel. What other ones was it? MG, I think it was. And overall it did everything. We never had an oil reset that I wasn't able to do, and I've used this for a number of months now, so that's the best thing I can say for it. I didn't have to grab another scan tool. I was able to do everything I needed through this. So you got to pick which one you want to reset it to. I'm going to go manually. Set the mileage to the next one, which I want to do 10. There you go. It's been reset. Seat recalibration, if you're doing that in your workshop. Steering angle reset. So let's say, for example, you have a wheel alignment that you've done, or it's gone out of spec. After you have the wheel alignment set up, you can reset the steering angle sensor back to where it should be again. This is one that I'm going to be trying out in the very near future. I haven't yet, but this is stop start deactivation. So you're able to reset and deactivate stop start, I believe. This is just a warning that you have the VCI, that little wireless connector, disconnected as you exit. It's a nice feature, a reminder that if you have the unit still connected up to the 16-pin OBD connector, you need to take it out and put it back in the scan tool as you put it away. It did happen to me where I left it in a vehicle, and I do know some technicians use the extender cable in some cases, so that doesn't happen to them. Down here you have the TPS, TPMS, so tire pressure monitoring system. From memory, I think it was a Jeep that I used that for, and it did it exactly as I needed as well. Back to the stop start reset. I'm going to be using that and trialing that out on a 2022 Caddy to see if it can deactivate that, because if any of you have driven that DSG type transmission and that stop start coming in and out, that extra delay can be very annoying when you're pulling off, and it can be quite dangerous if you're slowing up to a roundabout and then taking off again. You'll find that the performance kind of lags, and most people just deactivate the stop start before they even bring it for a run, but that has to be done every drive cycle, whereas this might be able to turn it off completely. Window calibration, sunroof calibration, suspension, and tire. If you're changing rims, I believe that should be able to set that up as well. So an extensive package of different items that it can do, and for the price point, 28 inbuilt in it, is amazing. Now I want to touch on some of the things as part of this that necessarily wouldn't be part of other ones. So the upgrade feature on this is lifetime, from what I've been made aware of. It comes with a 2-year warranty, but having that lifetime update means the scan tool for that price should keep you set up for years and years. You're going to have the upgrades that you need, and it's going to be inbuilt in the scan tool, so you're going to be sweet and you won't have to worry about paying extra with each one that you need. And where that showed up for me is I wasn't able to do a reset on a Kia. I did the upgrade, as you can see here, and afterwards I was able to carry out the reset. The new update that was available had that inbuilt in it, and I was good to go. Now, one thing of note on this is the memory is only 16 gig, it's not expandable, and I would recommend you balancing your load in regards to what makes models you will be using. So let's say if you don't work on any Chinese vehicles at all, I wouldn't even install them in it. Keep some space available, because there's always going to be something needing for update. It is a drawback of the tool. It's a very minor drawback, because you can still delete and upgrade as required. Maybe in future models they will have expandable memory, and or else have a larger capacity inbuilt in the tool. But saying that, you can still delete a file, you can upgrade, and you can then reinstall files as you need. So you can get around it. It might cause you a little bit of time delay, but overall it's no big deal. The scan section brings you straight into the auto VIN. You can read that. From there you can go in and out of different things as you need. So this is your auto search, which would show VIN. This is a history for, you can basically get fast access through previous ones that you would have logged, and this just gives you an idea of how many different makes and models of vehicles that this covers. It's extensive in regards to the coverage of it. It's very, very good. It's got a wide range, and like I said, if you didn't want some of these, you can delete them, and then you can have full packages on the rest of them. But upgrades on the likes of these scan tools, when you're talking about not having all the packages, let's say you buy a scan tool and it only gives you 2 or 3, which is out there when you're buying them, Every other one that you buy from there is like $50, $60, $70 for each package item, whereas this, that set price point, gets you everything you need. Now, I am linking in the description everything I have in relation to this. I will put the people that sent me this scan tool down and the information as well. And if you have any questions, you can shoot it direct to them. They will have all of the relevant information and should be able to give you responses as required. They also have been kind enough to give a discount to any of my subscribers that want to use it. If you're watching this video, it will be linked in the description. It is a time-related discount, so depending on when you see this video and when you try to use the discount, it may be expired. So check down in the link in the description again for more of that information. Back to the scan tool. When you're going through it, when you search and you pull up a fault code, when you want to go in further and check that fault code, you have the option to go online and search for that fault code through a generic like Google search. You can look at videos. It's capable of replaying the information that you need to. And let's say, for example, there was a video on my channel that had a code related to what you found. It may shoot up straight away on Google and you could go in and search that. What I would say is always be cautious with that type of search. If you're not familiar with diagnosing, you can get tripped up not really following the code to the fault, and you can go down a wormhole of looking at videos and not really having an understanding as to what the code represents. If you are familiar with diagnosing and you do know how to search through those, it is of great benefit. You can find some common faults, you can find some information on the web, you can even do some different internet searches as well as you want. So having that inbuilt in a tool is valuable, but again, use it only as required. I always revert back to my workshop manuals and my garage information, the likes of Autodata, which pulls known faults and fixes and wiring diagrams and all of that. So I'm referring back to a manufacturer spec first and foremost before I would do any online searches through the likes of these tools. But anyone that doesn't have that available to them, if it's a DIY, for example, and you only have 1 or 2 vehicles that you're going to be using it on, it's beneficial to have a code, enter it in, it'll auto generate the code into a Google search, and then you will be able to flick through the top results on that. It's able to key code as well, so if you have additional keys that you wanted to put on the vehicle, it's able to do that. I will link a video in the description. I believe there's another person that has put up a video showcasing that. I haven't done that feature yet, but it is part of it. So let me just exit out of that again. And all in all, this is a very, very powerful tool. The graphing is good, the response is good. Wireless connectivity, I have found it exceptionally good. I've used it in a good amount of distance away from the vehicle too. I've had it in the office, looking at the live data while I've had the connector in the vehicle, and there has been a decent bit of a range that I've been using it for, and it didn't drop out and lose signal in between. It's not laggy, it's never froze on me at any stage. I haven't had to reboot it. I haven't had any of those difficulties that I have with other scan tools. Also, I did a review on a Launch 909 previously. It's an older scan tool. It was a wired one, a very capable scan tool as well. But again, I would say the Topdon beats that one as well. The fact that it is wireless, it can do as much if not more than what the Launch can do, and I think that it's so nicely packaged together and everything. A lovely carry case. I would recommend this Topdon over that as well. So overall, that is my review on the Topdon Artidiag800BT scan tool. I highly recommend it. My honest review is, if you are considering buying this scan tool, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. If there's only one particular vehicle that you want it for and nothing else, and it is the likes of a Volkswagen, I would consider looking at maybe VAGCOM beforehand, because it will have more dealer level capabilities. But if you have more than one vehicle that you want access to, this has to be one of your first choices if you have a certain budget. This is the best budget range scan tool that I've ever had my hands on, and I think it fits nicely in a workshop as well as in a DIY type environment. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful and informative. Put your comments and questions in the comments down below. If I have information, I will answer it down there. If not, I will, like I said, have a link to Topdon, and they can answer any questions that you may have. Check out that link if you want to potentially purchase this, and the discount code will be there for you as well. As always, thanks a million for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you found it useful and informative. If you did, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.